Hassan. So Mr. Yahaya will present on EFSAN. He's from EFSAN. He will present on NAPAMS, the almighty NAPAMS. Without NAPAMS, you can't register. You cannot give one person a single injection if you've not gotten that certification. Water even touches more lives. How many people fly planes? How many people go to the hospital? I mean, unless there's a pandemic. But people drink water every day. One producer can affect 1,000 people. Just one producer, one. Produce a certain 1,000 sachets. That's how many bags? 20 bags, right? Is that it? 20 bags. Is 1,000? 1,000 bags. 1,000 sachets is how many bags? 50 bags. Yes. So there's no producer here that does not produce sell at least 50 bags a day. So it is important that we all key in, we are all current, we all comply, and that makes life easy for everybody. So we're waiting for him to set up. He will go live into NAPAMS portal and show you the processes as fast as we can, so that you understand. Actually, if well imbibed, you can actually go into NAPAMS yourself. You can actually do your renewal yourself. NAFDAC has made it that easy. But I don't know, we're all stuck on using agents and consultants, because most of the documents we have to get anyway. Whether it's your food handler's tests, you do it yourself anyway, which you have to do quarterly. Whether it's your fumigation, you do it yourself. Whether it's your, testing of water, you consult your labs yourself. So all the basic documents, the source documents that are required for renewal, we already do them by ourselves. So once you have those documents, you can upload them, and your team is valid, you can upload them onto NAPAMS and begin the process. If there's any issue, they will send you a CD. They will send you a CD. You comply. You pay your registration fee.
Here I'm Hassan from NAFDAC Lagos State Office, and I'll give us. I'll be very brief, and I'll be talking about NAPAMS, how to register your products. You all know the requirements of registration. I will not go into that. I will just center on NAPAMS. Some of the challenges you encounter in NAPAMS, you can bring it up. And but before we proceed, you should know that we have the site for registration is registration.nafdac.gov.ng/applicants. It will take you to the applicant side. Then you can do all your magic. All the registration is done there. And again, if you have any issue, you can channel your complaint to info@napams.org. info@napams.org. And you can also use the chat box during the working hour. You can use the chat box. Once you send a chat, somebody will respond to you, or you can as well come to NAFDAC office. The door is always open. For some of you people that have gone to NAFDAC between 10 o'clock a.m. to 2 p.m., NAFDAC gate is always open. If you have complaint, you can go to LOD, that is liaison office of the director, make your complaint. Somebody will attend to you. If it is something beyond LOD, they will direct you to NAPAMS desk. However, for NAPAMS registration, what you need your email, a functioning email. You need your TIN, tax identification number, should be upgraded to Tax Pro Max, and that is what you need to create an account. Your email, your TIN should be upgraded to Tax Pro Max. Once you have this, you come to our site. One of the mistakes that most people do, for people that have registered before and for those that want to renew, please, I say this in every meeting we have with you people, if you are going to use any consultant to register with NAFDAC, NAFDAC is not saying you should not use consultant, but please tell him or her that they should use your email. Please get this information, is very important. Tell anybody that want to help you that the person should use your email for the registration. Secondly, we've said this, our DG has said this several times, we don't encourage the use of consultants. Please, if you can register by yourself or you have a family member or somebody around you that can assist you, is good. Not external consultants. Then, coming back to registration. This is where it will take you to, and then you can see login. At the top right corner of your screen, you will see login. You click login as a client, not as a staff. So under clients, you will see admin and staff. Admin will allow you to use your team. Staff will allow you to use your email, the email that was used to create the account. So if you want to use team, you use admin. If you want to use your email, you use staff to log in. So here, I have an account of one of you. So this is what you should do if you want to register. Once you get to this place, at the bottom of it, you see register as a new client. This is for people that want to start the process. Or maybe you've been a member, you've registered with NAFDAC before, maybe in the last 10 years, then there was no NAPAMS. And now you want to come back to the business again, you want to register. So you want to create your own account with NAFDAC. You click register as a new client. Once you click it, this is where so many people stop. They will tell you that the platform is not working. Please, it's working. If you look at this very well, can you see from behind? Can you see from behind? Okay. The first thing, you see TIN. Your TIN is the 8-digit number. 8-digit number that you have. Listen. Once you put your TIN, once you input the TIN, you don't need to click anything. Your company information will pop up. The RC number or the batch number will come up. The company name, the company phone number, you can input it. Then the address. You see Alhaji Isa Dogo Street, Abuja. But please, please, you are supposed to include the local government and the states. You include the local government and the states. So you complete the information here. Which states, Lagos State, and it will take you to the next step. The next step is applicant information. The name of the MD, first name, second name, and other name, your phone number and your email, you input it, you put the representative, and you submit it. Once you submit it, it will send a mail. This email you put here, it will send a mail to you, telling you this is your login details, your email and the password to your mail. Then, and for those that used to have an account, maybe you have an old account and so you were using a consultant or somebody before now, and the account Please, you understand the first explanation, how to create the account? Please, can I come again? Good. The first thing you need to do, you log in, then click register as a client, as a new client. It will take you to this page. Then you input your thing. Sorry please. 125 941 75. Once you input the thing complete, you don't need to click anything. The information of the company that you register with Corporate Affairs Commission will come up. This is it. So you complete the information, and once you complete the information, you can see next is not there. Look at it. Once you complete this information, it will give the icon for this next will turn green. You just click it. It will take you to the next step, which is other information. You fill it, representative personal information, which is the name of the MD. You put the first name, the second name, the third name, the MD's phone number, and the company email. Once you submit it, the account will be created. It will tell you account created successful. If you go back to your mail, you will see that NAFDAC has sent a mail to you telling you that this is your login details, your password, and the email you used to create the account will be there. So you will return back to this place and log in as you log in as a client. So from here, you can now log in. Maybe something is wrong here from this account I'm trying to use, because if it is correct, it's supposed to open it. This thing is key sensitive. Where you are supposed to put capital letter, you put small letter, it will not go through. Please, I always encourage people, if you want to put password for an account, put a very simple thing that you can easily remember. If you have forgotten the password, then it's a different process on how to get it back. So now, problem now. If your email is not used, how will you now retrieve it back? Because this email now, we will have to send a request for correction of password, but the correction will be sent to that email. If you allow consultant to create an account to create a mail for you, then when you are trying to retrieve it, the email will be going to the consultant and you are here trying to retrieve your account. That's not going to be possible. So can we go ahead with that? You click forgot password. So it's requesting for the email. This is the email you use to create the account. reset. You can see has been processed. Please check your email to proceed. So sir, check your email, sir. What you will see there is you will see a mail from NAPAMS. Just click it, just like the normal way you used to change password. You input a new email, minimum of 6 digits, and input it again, proceed. Once you proceed, it will tell you password change successful. Proceed to login. Click proceed to login. You put your email and the password, you are back to your account. Within 2 minutes, if the network is okay, you are done with everything. 2 minutes. Sorry, because it's somebody's account, I will not display it for you people. But that's how it is. You will see something like click here. Should be in JPEG. And if you are uploading any nylon, it should be marked. Hello? For renewal, if you are uploading any nylon, it should be renewal. It should be date marked. There should be batch number, production date, and the best before date, and the NAFDAC number should be on the sachets. These are the common mistakes that most water producers, once they submit application, these are the common mistakes they do. And you will see something like 100% water. Is water supposed to have other things if you are packing it? So just your composition is just water. So stop putting 100% water, just water. Your nylon should have date marking. And your document should be between 1 megabyte and below. All documents should be in PDF except for the nylon. And the nylon, some people will just hold the water like this and snap it. If they should ask you to read the information in that picture now, you can't read it. What you should do is, this is the water. You use scissors to cut all the edge and spread it in a plain sheet. Once you take a picture of it, it will be clear. Once you upload it, it has date marking, you are good to go. There will be no need of any compliance directive to delay your process. It will be seamless. So that's some of the things you need to do. And again, in stage 3, when you are doing your upload, after you create the account, you put the product information, you will get to one stage that they will ask you of manufacturer's information. So many people, even not water producers, other people have that kind of issue. If you get to that place, there is a mail, e-reg data 1. You send the company name, the company address. Are we noting it? The company name, the company address, the phone number, company name, address, phone number, email, and the MD's full name will be there. If you send this 5 information to eregdata1@gmail.com, eregdata1@gmail.com. Once you send it to that, we will be the one to create the manufacturer's information for you. The reason is this: some people have 2-3 accounts, and somebody will just come and say, I submit my application with NAFDAC. At a point, I'm not seeing my application. I log in into my account, I'm not seeing my application. That is because in 2023, maybe a consultant opened an account for you. In 2025, you want to register, you still open an account again. The system is trying to identify who has the account. 2 companies having the same information. Some might disappear from here and appear in the old account. Meanwhile, the old account, you don't have access to it again. You are here, your account, you've made payments, and your account your application is no longer there, you are not seeing anything, it is because you have an account previously and you open another account again. You are the causes of the problem. So please, this information, for those of us that are not here, you can inform them. If you want to do registration, please tell them to use your email. If you want to change the existing email, maybe the emails they used for you before, you want to change it to your own, it's still possible. Yes, it's still possible. You can write a mail to that info@napams.org, or you come to the LOD, we'll direct you on how to do that. You just submit your company information. We need to know that yes, it is actually the owner of the company that want to initiate that. Then we will change it to your own email that you want. Any information that NAFDAC will give, it will come to the owner of the company directly. You will be the one telling the consultant that NAFDAC want me to correct this or that. Please, this is very important. Some people will come, they will defraud them, collect money from them and disappear. The clients will just come, or they will even collect the money and they won't do anything. Our system, once you didn't initiate the renewal, the system will detect it anytime you want to do it, and you know it will generate fine automatic. Nobody is giving you, it's the system that is giving you. So you need to be in charge. Sometimes once it's even 3 months to renewal, some people used to forget that it's due for renewal. It's an automated something. 3 months before renewal, you will see a mail telling you that your license is due for renewal. If you use somebody's email, who will be telling you that? So it's very important. And I would not want to bother you with too much talk. I want you to bring up some of the challenge that you have from your end. Let's look at it together. If it is something that is beyond me, we'll escalate it to NAPAM's technical team to resolve it for you. Please. Address, including the states. Including the states. Including the states. Let's say number 25, Ago Palace Way, Okota, Lagos State. You can include Nigeria if you wish. Receive sample from Ogun State, receive from Ondo, receive from Osun, receive from Ondo. Where would they now send your lab result to? If you submit the application will drop in LOD. Who will now process it? Is it Lagos that will process it? Because the person handling it might not even be aware that there is a name of street where you stay. So it's very important you put the name of the state so that we will know who is going to process your application. Any other thing? Let's pick up now. We're not visiting NAPAMS. Everybody has somebody that is handling it for you. Is it true? You all have people handling it for you. Then what are the challenges? Why are you not saying anything? Let me help you look at it. Mr. A is coming to do it, but I want you to see how this is done. You receive a mail, and Junior come and see this thing. And you look at it, you escalate it to the person handling it. Thank you.
Please put your hands together for that brilliant summary. I know when it comes to technology, sometimes I get nervous myself. And for example, when I buy a new phone, I have to give it to my children to break. I'm sure, who can relate? You have to give it to the Gen Zs and the millennials to break it in for you. But the truth of the matter is that it is not rocket science. We are exposing it now. You understand? So I would encourage us to explore. Even if you are not going to renew, just open the NAPAMS platform and see if you can navigate through and get familiar with it. So without much ado, we would like to to get to the GMP side of things, and then a little bit of that slide. All right, so we have next somebody very senior from NAFDAC, an assistant director, nothing less than an assistant director is coming to do this presentation. Mr. Ijeoma Prosper, please put your hands together for him. Please listen very carefully, ask questions, because when the assistant director's colleagues come for inspection and they start asking for compliance, some of the questions they will ask you, ask him now so that we can get those answers. Unfortunately, we've been asking NAFDAC after each presentation to give us their slides, and NAFDAC has always refused that the lecture is enough. There's some pros and cons for that argument. It's for now. It's a proprietary document for NAFDAC, and it's not necessarily required to be circulated except for lecture purposes. So they would really need to apply higher up, much higher up, if you want to get this to be released to us. But take notes, you can film it, you can video it, you can snap it, and I have listened to this lecture several times. It is now second nature. In fact, I can present it without even looking at it. Okay, Mr. Prosper, over to you, sir.
So, thank you, sir. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Prosper. So, I would always say one thing when I want to start. I don't present, I interact. Huh? Hello? Hi. Are we together? Yes. I interact. That's how I do mine. Huh? So basically we'll be dealing on what we call GMP. GMP is what we call good manufacturing practices. Forget about what is doing theory. I want practicalities. What we do, you've been doing it, right? Most of us, they have their factories up to up to 5, 6, 7 years in existence. So it's what we do every day. But then there's this need for us to do kind of like a refresher for all of us. Introduction, package water, menini, regulated by NAFDAC. We all know that already, right? Yes. The next one, to ensure consumer safety, facilities must comply with the GMP requirements. Now, that takes me to one thing. My guy here said something. That if one producer didn't get it right? It affects everybody in the street. Myself, yourself, the product, even your income as well. Huh? If you don't get it right, it affects your income. Am I correct? Huh? Fine. Because people like us, today is like it's a friendly thing. But when you don't get it right, we go friend, Abi. Huh? You guys, you don't appear to like this statement. Hello? Hi. One and don't get them right, we go friend, Abi. Huh? Basically, thank you. But we are your friendly regulators. Huh? So next slide, brother. I always want to ask this question. What is GMP? I know why. We already know it. Huh? Good manufacturing practices. Most of us can even go ahead to define it. That's why I would always leave it very empty. If I ask 1, 2, 3 people here, they can tell us what GMP is all about. So I always leave it very, very empty. But for the purpose of this inspection, I've tried to do a brief. It's just my personal definition of GMP. I say it is the standards set up by regulators, just like NAFDAC, to ensure that products are consistently, that's my keyword, produced under controlled, another keyword, hygienic environment. Hello? So the two words there are so very important for me. Then I go on to tell us that for us, what we like is when inspectors come, we say, it's satisfactory GMP. Your inspection is satisfactory. Who amongst us here do not want the inspections to be satisfactory? Hello? All of us want your inspections to be satisfactory, right? Hello? Yes. Want your inspections to be satisfactory. Yes. But for us, that is not GMP for us. It's not all about your personal inspections. Huh? GMP is a lot more. Just like I said, it's about consistency in what you're doing, and then you having to do it under a controlled and hygienic environment. So GMP does not basically speak to your personal inspections. It's all about protecting lives. Going back to what he said, when you do not get it right, a hell lot of nonsense happens. Takes us back to sometime in I think 2024, the cholera outbreak. Huh? We are all witnesses. It's not just in Lagos or some other states. It does happen. And then, but when you get it right, you sustain your business. Huh? We know will come lock when up. We know will give you compliances. We won't ask you to pay admin charges, right? Your business will grow. People will know your brand. Huh? Your brand will be taken over. Huh? So that is what GMP is all about. To me, it's all about building trust. When people take your water, they say your water is good, it has no odor, it has no taste, there are no particles in it, and you're being consistent with it. You build trust. I want Prosper table water. If you come and give me another water, no. What about Prosper table water? Are we together? That is what GMP is speaking to. The next is you try to maintain compliance. I said that before. Maintaining compliance and consistency, and I told us that consistency is your ability to do one thing over and over again, and you're getting the same result, and you're getting it right. That is just what consistency is. Are we together? And then controlled environments, wherein you have all the components of GMP intact. There are no sources of contamination. Your personnel are good, and all of that. So that takes us to the GMP requirements, or the components, the things that make up GMP, the building blocks of GMP. One of them is your building. Huh? That place will be like our marketplace, our business office. It's our business office, right? That is where we derive our daily bread from. So it's our office, but we call it facility. Huh? The next is the source of water, personnel, training, hygiene, nurses, quality control, documentations. I find most of us one thing in this area, especially our documentation. We don't keep records, and it's unfortunate. Then, these are the things we look at when we come for inspections. Each of these things is what we audit. This is a very simple, it's not rocket science. Huh? It's not rocket science. So speaking to your facility, I always will ask one person, who is your neighbor? So for most of us, I already know most of us here, you have your facilities in place and you're operating, but for the upcoming ones, when you want to set up a facility, the first person that should come to your mind is who is your neighbor? Am I starting my facility where you have a source of contamination, any place that is waterlogged, probably close to a cemetery, a cement facility, any place that could pose a source of contamination to your raw material, in this case the water from the borehole or from the public main, and your final finished product. So the facility could be proposed built as you're building from scratch. It could be what you adapted. But basically, you need to have minimum of 4 designated sections or rooms. Then your cloakroom, your packaging material area, these are the different sections. Your finished product store, and then most importantly for us, there should be a flow. There should be a flow. There should be a unilateral flow. When you're coming from this point, you get to that point. But in some instances, we go to a facility, you see them going like snaky, they're going this way, we come back. So it's actually not a good thing for us. And then the next thing we look out for is the design of the equipment and the maintenance. Your equipment should be always made of, if you can afford, stainless steel or the pipes that we know already of, and then you keep records. It's important. I'll speak to that much. You will need for you to keep records. I do not want to speak to this. There's one other thing I do not want to speak because it raises questions. The likes of the records. If you begin to practice that, it's good for you. Next one. So basically, I spoke, the last slide was speaking to the flow pattern. So these are the prototypes of, if you want to start moving, this is what it would look like. You have the I shape, you have the U shape, and then the L shape. So you see, the different sections are clearly depicted. From the cloakroom, you can walk into the packaging material area. From there to the production and the finished product areas. The cloakroom is where you have the hygiene station, and you have to put your clothing, that's the garden, the activities and all of that. And from there you can move into the packaging material area, you can have a shelf, and all your pallets, and then most importantly the UV lights for installation of packaging materials. The production area where it should be an empty hall, but then the equipment should be there. And then your finished product store, you should have your pallets. But most times we find out that people tend to store on the floor. It's a no-no for us. Or some on wooden pallets. Some of us. And sure, you will receive compliances from us when we come visiting. Next slide. So your sources of water, the borehole, the public main, spring water. That's one thing already. Well, I was supposed to. Hello? Should we would allow well, Thank you very much. That's why it's a way. Because it's a source of contamination and the drugs is almost approaching. If you just dry up and then you know to get water again. The need for you to live 30 meters away from your septic tank, and then that is 150, 120, but it actually depends on the topography. Next one. The treatment process for the water, the disinfection, chlorination, the half a billion things we do. For me, I always want to ask when I come, I want to know how you get at the volume or the weight of your chlorine. It's a challenge because when you do not get your calculation very well, your water will begin to have issues. So the filtration, we know about these ones. But then, most importantly for me is you having to keep records of everything you do. Having to keep records of everything you do. This is a typical flow chart of what should we do. We are already producers, just like a refresher then. But for me, I'll get to where I need to lay more emphasis. Next slide. This is not the typical flow pattern of what you need to have. The tanks, the need for you to either have standard steel, we're talking about that, or the PVC, and then the need for some of them to play on the ground. And then one thing again that I found lacking is most of us do not put the arrow of flow. We do not even label. When we get to your treatment plant, there are no labels for them. So this is your treated plants. What's the capacity of the tank? We do not even know. The microns, the filters, we don't really know how many microns the pore size, we don't even detect. And then these things are issues when we come for inspection. Then for the personnel, most importantly, okay, was saying something. Somebody asked a question about wages, and then I went down to speak to use of casual staff. stuff that you can just spray on the go. Yes, but then I don't know about we can do that, but not with your production manager. And for those of us that still use quality control personnel, we do not expect you to use casual staff. And then I found out one other thing about personnel here is most of us they go hire machine. Huh? Hello? Will they hire machine? Abi? Well, nobody go agree now. But then we are skilled. Huh? In fact, I went to one inspection sometime in the place I was coming from. They brought in somebody. He studied mechanical engineering. He was very good at it. I was coming to stand in for somebody else. How did I find that? Huh? Hello? Actually, it was difficult to find that, right? Hello? But why did we find that? We begin to ask some questions like the organogram. Huh? We need to know. We may have submitted one and the person is no longer there. We need to know the employment, letter of employment and acceptance, medical fitness, all of that. Trainings that may have been done. It's important. Just like we are doing this, I always encourage us to do one thing. Most of us here, we are not the production managers, right? We are the CEOs of the companies. Hello? You are the CEOs. I think going forward, it should be a special appeal for you to be involving your production staffs for this kind of things. It's important because when you have this knowledge, you only take it home. Sometimes you don't even cascade to them. You do not. So I think, I don't know how you guys operate, but I think it would be really better if we begin to involve them, your production personnel as well in this kind of trainings. They are the people in the operations, they are the process owners. And this kind of meetings, they'll be able to ask us challenging questions. They are the people that own the process, they know the issues that they are fixing them. So they will try to resolve it with us. It's kind of like a appeal from me, involve your production personnel, and then keep records as well. So you will have to do the medical fitness test, the hygiene practices, nobody is, it's a common thing here too. If you go to most facilities, you see people keeping their Coca-Cola, their food flags, even charging phones and all of that. It is a red flag, it's a no-no for us. Yes, sir? Okay, so for personnel, we spoke about hygiene and all of that. This is typically, you see the hand washing, you see how the person is fully prepared. Most of us, you go, you see the people working with you. I'm sweating. Nothing, they don't even have no PPEs on them, even their shoes. They wear the sweet shoes into the facility. Please and please, these are sources of contamination. I am appealing to us. It's not easy, I understand. The economy is booming. I'm appealing to us. Please, let us learn to provide. Let us learn to provide. It's called management responsibility. It's your responsibility to provide for these people the things that they need. Okay, so the next component will be strictly documentation. Huh? This area, Kabada, I have never really been so happy with records. Hello? So, documentation, it is important. Why is it important? For us, if it is not written, it's a popular slogan with us. It's a popular champion slogan. If it's not written, it is never, we did not do it. But if you start from today, you will speak till tomorrow. For Nigerians, we say you will explain no evidence. You will explain no evidence. It will become a complaint give you. Huh? Keep records. Probably your batch production records. Today we did A plus B 001. We did 20 cartons. The production manager will sign. Even if anything happens, It's actually, these documents you're keeping is just for traceability purposes. Your pH, your PC records, pH, conductivity, all of those things. Just keep records. Check. Keep records. If anything happens, if there's a complaint, this is your correct. So, these other ones we don't need to bother with, but for I want to speak about it, but quickly, will be the correct. We always will find that most of us we are trained. We look at the parameters well. We look at your parameters. What are the parameters you're putting? So you check things like your E. coli 21st because things are very pathogens. You analyze it, and then you might not have the in-house capacity to set up an in-house lab, but then subcontract. But these other ones like your pH, total dissolved salt, turbidity, conductivity, that's this kind of machines. I think they are new ones. Even if you look at it, it has kind of like a panel. You can take your readings from there instantly. And then you maintain your sample logs and certificate of analysis, even the one you did outside, externally, and the ones you do internally. So you keep records. Your sanitation, records of your cleaning, are you doing, you keep records. Just develop what we call a cleaning log sheet, and then fill in those things. Most importantly, regarding documentations, is your standard operating procedures. It's all of this I mentioned. There should be procedures to drive them. There should be procedures to drive all of these things. Your XOPs. Most of us here, my brother was talking about the use of consultant. It's not as if they're not asking you not to, but we do not want you to. Because sometimes they write the SOPs. It's kind of like generally they make the SOP generic. SOP should be factory specific. It should be process specific. How you do your own things is not how the next person does it. So, but most of the SOPs they give to you is generic. And then when we come, for me, I just want to read your SOPs and ask questions. I really. When we come, we found out that it's talking about something that is not even in existence in your facility. Hello? Something that is not even happening in your facility. So all of these things, proper waste disposal, personal training, keeping your TUC records, all of them, there should be an SOP to drive them. So for the things you have in your SOPs, if you read your SOP thoroughly, you should be, from there you will derive the parameters you leave in your log books. And then, let's go. Okay, then again, for your warehousing, transportation, and handling. When we are done manufacturing, the next one is to send that, right? I've been to somewhere, first we will have to place it, we left the place on hold. They were using a car that's broken down completely, very dirty, smelly. That was where they were storing their water. So it's very good, right? We are not talking again. It's not good, right? That's comparing. So we should, even if it's a or anything that we are using to do our transportation, make it very clear that it should be dedicated. Not the one you are using to carry red oil or crayfish. You can still use it to even bother to clean it. You can still use it to transport your product to OKK and Sons. Finished product should be transported with their quality and integrity maintained. If you do not do that, it could be a source of contamination as well. It could be a source of contamination. So, in essence, I just read this or read it, if you can see it with me. Can we all see it? Hello? Yeah. So, packaged water is a product directly consumed by the public. We know the boil and when we want chop and one drinker. We don't boil, we open. We drink. So, its safety and quality are no go negotiate more. We're your friendly regulators, but when issues arise, we will no longer become friendly. We must play by the rules. So it's non-negotiable. So there's this need for us to adhere to good manufacturing practices to ensure that every stage, from water source, the treatment, from the source, even the borehole, the public main, the spring water, from that source until it gets to the treatment stage. The treatment you do, I mentioned something about the need for us to have a graph on how we calculate our chlorine. And then the other things we do, the storage, we talked about that, the need for you to have pallets and all of that, the packaging, even the distribution, we just mentioned that, the need for us to have dedicated cabs, anything you're using to transport, that will always be clean. That will not be the same thing you're using to carry your crayfish to the market or your stockfish, and then at the end of the day you use it to carry this. The hygienic practices, the need for us to ensure that our personnel have their headgears and then use the hygiene station and do not have to eat, chew gum, smoke, drink in our facility. And what again? And then, most importantly, the need for us to document. For me, if somebody is doing renewal, I expect that at least you've done maybe 1, 2, 3 renewals. I expect that you have documents to back up your entire processes. Like I said earlier, if it is not written down, it was never done. You never did nothing. So, ultimately, implementing GMP, recommend and packaged water manufacturing, protects public health. Thank you. The last one. Right? These are our references. Next one. Next, thank you. Are the fair questions? That's why I know they put questions. Huh? Hello? I know they like questions. I'm not savvy answer. But be very free to ask. Thank you very much.
Registered company, the other companies anyhow, we cannot regulate our price. Because many people are entering the company as a camouflage or maybe their retirement, and when you register and along the line, you will not be able to have money to operate the business any longer. So please, I'm suggesting if it can be possible for you to, at least in a street or in a community, to reduce the number of companies that you register. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. There is one thing you noted that I'm very happy about. You know, we are all Nigerians. You say that, you know, it's not easy. I'm very glad for that. In line with what she said, you know, I want to know, apart from registering a lot of products, is there anything like rating? You go to visit a factory, you rate, because that will encourage other people to do better. But if, like some people will say water is water, pure water and pure water, there is no differentiation. So if there is something like rating, before someone can register, you will know that, you know, this, as some people do, some organization, regulators, you know, you rate. So that if someone wants to buy, you will know, okay, this is the product I want to stick on. So that's my, if there is anything like that, or NAFDAC is trying to do something like that.
Madam wants.
Look funny, but please, in my little way, answer me. What is the qualification of a production manager? Because we are here now, we have been told this. Can that make one seated here one?
Actually, this is our NAFDAC organ. You did not mention first aid box, and I think I was told that the content of first aid box has certain number of what it should contain. So please, can you emphasize on that? And then you mentioned something about chlorine. Please, I want you to explain further. Uses, how, and anything you know about it.
Thank you.
Over to you, sir. Let him answer those questions first, and then yes.
Okay. Right. And you're asking us if it will be very possible for us to cut them down, right? So what we do now is this. We just do one practical thing. Madam, what's the name of your facility? What's the address? So what we'll do now is this. If we get back, we'll tell the DG that there are three facilities in your home. Maybe we'll go start to promote your home first. No, sorry, sir. I wanted to laugh. I want all of us to laugh. So what am I trying to say is this. The sky is so wide for two birds to collide. The important thing is this. Do the whole things about the tenants of GMP and ensure you're doing it right. Even if you have 1 million people manufacturing the same water, distinguish your brand. Distinguish your brand. Your own will sell. The competition will definitely be very healthy. It will sell. We cannot stop people from coming to register. Water, food, bread, all of those things. Register as much as possible. But if you fall short of GMP, we'll clamp you down. If you're a recalcitrant, non-conformer, we don't have any business with you. Got you. By the time we give you compliances, shut you down, give you admin fine, you find out you cannot rise. That is the only thing we can do. We want the Nigerian economy to grow. Hello, ma'am. You okay, right? No. Even in pharmaceuticals, you can be here, does not matter. What you're speaking to is pharmacy stores. Probably 200 or 190 meter space. That's what you're speaking to. That is business. We don't even regulate pharmacy stores. It's Pharmacy Council of Nigeria that regulates that. So the next question, ma'am, you were saying something about rating. Now, for every company, we have your file domiciled with us. Do you people know? Those documents you submit, we compile them. We have a file for you. When we come for inspection, anything we see, we write it down. We'll give you compliances, right? Some of us may have gotten compliances from us. The things you've not done well and the things we want you to do right. So for us, we know company A is doing very well. And sometimes we found out that the frequency with which we visit you is different from the frequency with which we visit those other people that are not compliant. You may not know. So that's the rating. We will not have to make the rating public because we are not advertising your product. We are only but regulators. Hello? We are just but regulators. So for you to build trucks in your brand is comply with GMP. That's the only thing. You build trucks. You don't have to be the ones to build trucks in your brand. We are your regulators. We cannot be the complainant and the judge at the same time. Ma'am, are we together? To build trucks in your brand is by yourself, what you do. And what is it you're supposed to do? Ensure your operations are in line with minimum requirements of GMP. That's all. No documentation. Keep your records. Ensure your production personnel are well kitted, they are qualified, and all of that. And train them, just like I'm making this appeal. Bring your production personnel to this place. With this, I'm going back to the next question. Ma'am asked something about the qualification, right? Qualification of production manager. The last time I checked, the guidelines speaks to your production manager being somebody who is from the science-based discipline. The last time I checked, somebody being from the science-based discipline, either physics, chemistry, biology, chem, indoor chem, any sciences. But I think like this appeal, there's something approved. But for now, it's somebody from the sciences. But there's this appeal, but there's something approved.
We've appealed to NAFDAC that we should train producers and maybe one more person within the factory, and NAFDAC will certify them to take the place of these science-based people. So we are still working on it, and we are waiting for NAFDAC to respond to us. Once they respond, we will train, and that training is going to be specific to a factory. So if they train for factory A, your operator or your manager, if he leaves for factory B, he cannot take that certification or that permit to factory B. He has to do another training and exam in factory B, so that people do not just take that training after you've invested in them and trained them, they now leave for some other factory. But we are waiting for that approval, and if it comes, it will take care of that issue, which I'm sure if we do an audit today, 90% of us will fail on that. But we thank God for NAFDAC and their understanding. All right, any more questions, please?
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, sir. Thank you for that lecture. And thank you. You just answered the first question I wanted to ask. You said, let me use your word, we do hire mesh. And I believe that's the area you are referring to. Thank you for that. Thank you for the process you are going. Then the second one is that you said we should always take record of whatever product is going out. Our industry is a peculiar one. I don't think we sell to shops, houses, and people even working. Okay, assuming you want to buy from me and you stopped, I said, can you give me your records? Will you do that? I think the answer is no. So coming to taking records of everybody we deliver to, it's going to be kind of difficult. But I think we can take record of whatever thing that goes out from the company, but that's the end users. We don't have power over that. Even marketers won't even want you to know the people they are selling to. So that when they leave you, they will go back to the customer. Because if they leave the details of their customers, they believe if they go, you can get directly in touch with them. So please, I think you people should also be lenient when it comes to that one. Thank you.
Okay, so the records we are speaking to is not of the end users, because there's no way you can get records of the entire end user, or to who you supply directly. Probably, I think I mentioned that you're supplying to Cake and Sons, and so it's a shop. But when you sell, probably you retail, 1 piece, 2 piece, not actually keep records. But then if you can, that's fine, because the 1 piece you sell to Mr. OKK might result in issues. He might see particles, and then you have to complain. Right? If you can. But most importantly is to the big shops, the ones you supply probably 10 bags, 15 bags, the pharmacies and all of that. Huh? Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Well done, sir, for the good lecture. Please, I want to know, is HACCP part of GMP? If yes, please, can you just enlighten us about it? Because the Ministry of Health, they come disturbing me about asking for documents on HACCP. Exactly. Thank you very much.
All right. Fortunately and unfortunately, we go round and round again. I trained as a pharmacist. I am not from the food section, but then as a regulator, you should know a bit of everything. Huh? So HACCP, hazard analysis and critical control points, things like that. So if you know what you're doing, HACCP kind of like it's embedded in your SOP, your SOPs.
Yes, it's there. It's there.
It's embedded in your SOPs. Huh? If you know what you're doing, It's embedded in your SOPs. So if they want if they want you to develop a HSCC plan, it's very easy for you. I think there are 7 steps. Identifying, analyzing.
Let me just comment that personally I am working on an HACCP framework, right? Templates, which I will share with the whole of Lagos State. All you will just do is put your name and then look at the process of, for example, if you are not using Arrow, for example, but it identifies all those critical points and what you need to do, right, in terms of compliance. Everything you are going to put in the HACCP is already in your SOP. It's just copy and paste, but putting it in the format that the Ministry of Health is asking for. It's ironic that we ask them for a template and they refuse to share with us, or they are not giving us up to now. So we will do our own. And luckily, I like working with information. Once I complete it, I'll share it with the whole state. You modify it and make it your own. Any other questions? Time is fine.
Inherent in water manufacturing. Simply the microbes, the E. coli, the coliforms, and all of those things. That's the number 1. The next one.
Chlorination takes care of it, or solution.
Yeah. And then the next one is probably the documentation. I think we tried something. I'm not so very sure. It's been a long time. What would be GMP? We don't know HACCP as a pharmacist. I think the farmer before I just was moved to this place, but I know I can study over everything. But if you need guidance, we can create more of that.
So Oga will make my work easier. So I'm going to go to him, sit with him one day with the final products, the final template, and I'll show him for vetting. He will make his inputs and I'll share it. It's not rocket science. We have, within ATWA, we have everything we need. Engineers, doctors, lawyers, tax consultants. We have everything. So we don't need to go very far. We'll take 1 or 2 questions. Oga, before you sit down, with all due respect, sir, I want us to talk about recall process.
There's need for us to keep documents. Remember I said something about what is it used for? It's for traceability. I said those things, right? Hello? We don't need sleep. We need to do we need to do some form of exercise before we continue. Are we all good? Okay, so I remember saying that need for us to keep documents. It don't they come out smaller. The need for it don't they come out smaller. I said it's all about traceability. Now, recall process is most times it could be a personal decision. You want to do a mock, kind of like it's a mock, but
Okay, let me just give you a scenario. After production, you sold your water, and then you find out that there's a dead rat in your tank. How do you now recall that product?
Okay. Now, firstly, for you to be able to do this, okay, well, let's use. I wanted to do a generic thing, but now let's channel it down to what you said. Most of us, let's be very honest. Now you find that thing by yourself. Huh? You've moved this thing. Most of us, the Nigerian us, we say no, water na water. The Nigerian us, we say water na water. Don't come out, no, and amigo loss. But please, I'm appealing to all of us when such things are right. Firstly, you go back to your XOP for recall. That's why I said something. Most of our consultants, what they generally do is bring up a generic XOP. So every XOP should be facility specific. So you go back to XOP. The first thing you need to do is you need to involve the agency. You write to the agency that so and so thing has happened. Now there are things that the recall thing that are parameters that you need to check in a recall. One, the agency will write you telling you, okay, you need to there's need for you to do a recall. This one is not a, you complain by yourself, it's not an external complaint. Now you go back to the recall. You find this thing yourself, right? You don't need to tell yourself that there is need for you. You don't even need to carry investigation again because the grant is dead. But otherwise, if you are to be an external complaint, that's what we call a record register. Let me do it generating before I go down to this thing, so that we have a full grasp of what we're supposed to do. Let's assume that a complaint. I bought the product and it's not good, and then I filed a report. We should have a record register, a complaint register. Now, my complaint is that I saw particles in your product. Now, I am supposed to write the batch number of the product details, right? I put the product details, AZ water 001, manufacturing date 10th December 2022, expiry. So, first, you need to do what? A preliminary investigation. How do you do this investigation if you did not keep documents? Huh? Okay, I'm kind of like, I want to do a general thing before I come down to this. If I discuss the general and the core process, it make them have a better understanding. How do I investigate if I do not keep any records? Hello? We now see the need for us to be keeping small. We can start small and then we go bigger in our documentation processes. So if you did not keep any records, you cannot defend yourself. It might be that I use super glue, use something and put that package here and seal it. Maybe I used another packaging material that is not your own. I went to the market and then I developed the packaging material and put your packaging material. But if you have your batch details, on this very day I did not manufacture. So you show your record. But if you do not have all the distance, it has already defeated you. No evidence. Now, how people they use to explain? So now, if you've done that investigation and you found out that, I said this is a preliminary investigation, you found out that it's your product. You move to the next step. You do some forms of analysis. What is the effect of these things in the product? Huh? Is it critical? Is it major? Is it a minor risk? Critical risks are those ones that will lead to death or life-threatening situations. Huh? Minor ones are maybe things that probably batch coding is not clear, the address is not clear, but then the major ones probably the water is leaking. So when you analyze what is the effect of this failure on the final finished product, if it is such that it's so very, very deadly, then we need to do what we call recall. Are we together? We may need to do that recall. Now, recall means bringing it back from, doing a trace back from the distribution process. You went this way, we are bringing it back. So in your SOP, you should be able to write or describe, like, for how long will the recall last? When are you supposed to initiate the recall? Is it supposed the duration of the recall? What's the frequency? When we say frequency, you've moved this thing into commas, right? And when you are recalling, you cannot get 100%. Right? So at what percentage do I say that my recall is effective? Probably it should be from a 70% up. If I supply 20 bags of OK Cansons, and I ask OK Cansons to bring back this thing that there are issues. If I bring 5, it's not up to 70%. You should be looking at from 10 and up, so that you get 70%. But most importantly, you should be giving NAFDAC feedback. Right? You should be giving us the feedback. I'm just trying to break it down. I don't want to go to a higher picture. You should be giving us the feedback before you even initiate this recall process. You should inform the agency that this is what you intend to do, and then going by the SOP. Yeah, which what we call from your SOPs, you develop what we call a protocol, a recall protocol. how am I going to do this? In the protocol, you were telling us the percentage, for how long will it take you? It's a very critical thing. We expect that in 48 hours, you're able to push. If the risk is critical, so that it will lead to death or lack of institution, we expect that in 24 hours, you will pay them back. 24 complete hours, you will give at least 70% of the product. So that is in a nutshell. I'm just trying to, I don't want to dive deeper because this is it's not pharma, it's just whatever. But then I just mentioned the key things you need to know.
Thank you very much, sir. More questions?
Batch number machine. I don't know whether any other person serving that like me. One of my challenge, you used to perforate the nylon. So that's why most of us don't put it. And whenever people come around, you'll be asking of that batch number 10.
Let me also tell you what we are trying to do. Two things we are trying to do at state level is source a technology, right, that does not damage 70% of the sachets. Secondly, we are making a proposal to the leadership of NAFDAC, highest level, to allow us batch code the bag as a first step before the sachet. Now at all, na in bad. If we know if you do sachet, now maybe we do bag first while we are waiting for the technology. Because right now the technology we have is not friendly. The ink is expensive, it dries, it perforates, it just doesn't work for us. So maybe you want to add on to that. Until we hear from them, it's still a compliance directive. He says that's fine. Madam was saying something about chlorine, that she needed more information on chlorine. Please, with that, we will wrap up.
Madam, so the chlorination process is part of your disinfection things you do to your water. Because we already know that this water, either from the public mains or from the spring or from the borehole, there are chances that some microbes may have escaped from wherever. So it's important that not everybody does that. It's your choice. It's your choice. You know how you want to disinfect. But then again, there's this calculation. I've seen it in some of the SOPs that I do. My interest is I want to know how you arrive at the calculations. I am not supposed to teach. It's your process. You own it. You describe what you know. My own is to what you're doing. Tell me, show me how you arrive at. I think they say it's 8.6 grams or something.
There are so many things that determine that the microbial load, and so many of the water parameters that so the chlorine concentration for one factory is different from that of another factory. You know, so it has to come, it has to be organic.
To the house. We are from Nigerian Social Insurance Trust Fund, otherwise known as NSITF. We're here to give you a presentation of what NSITF is all about, the benefits that you will derive from registering with the fund. So I'll yield the floor to my colleague to give us a holistic presentation, and any questions we'll be ready to take. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Atwa, live, that's our branch manager. God bless you, ma'am. Thank you, each and every one of us. It's an opportunity. I think this will be the third zone that we're going to, and it's been very, very wonderful. There will be room for questions. So because of our time, we just have to streamline a lot of things. Like she has said, NSITF, that's Nigerian Social Insurance Trust Fund, we are actually under the federal government and Ministry of Labor and Productivity. You know, sometimes when people hear anything that has to do with government, they want to know swearing really big. You know, when people come around and say, are you sure these things work? They do work. Not everything is not in the right way. So we'll just give you some of the benefits of what we're here for. I'll just give us a brief explanation of what NSITF is all about. Nigerian Social Insurance Trust Fund, the acronym NSITF. How many of us have heard about NSITF?
NSITF? Yes. All right. So this is an opportunity for us to just listen. Then what do? We are the administering body. You know, at a point, the federal government had issues. You know, employers were having issues. You know, with work-related issues, and they brought it up in such a way that during the Goodluck Jonathan period, that was 2010 December, when they enacted the Employees Compensation Act, call it Employees Compensation Act 2010. Then the Employees Compensation Act established the Employees Compensation Scheme, which we, NSITF, now is the administering body. And what is it all about? It's work related. In that, as much as an employee, who is an employee is somebody that's, you know, you are brought in to work for you, either oral or written. I am employing this person. Now, you know, most of us here were talking about casual staff. Probably they will just come, you know, you give them and things like that. Then work related, as much as while they were coming to your office, they are coming to the workplace, or while they are there working for you, or probably on their way back home. If anything happens around that period, probably accidents, maybe road traffic, you know, the kind of work. I'm just going to be using a case study of production, that's water now. You're done producing, and the next is say, take this my products somewhere, and something happens at maybe while the person was doing an accident, road traffic, and the person is involved in an accident. You know, we take it up from there. As much as the condition is you will be registered with NSITF, we have branches scattered all over Lagos. Like we now, we are from Agege branch, that we came all the way from Oba, that's Wenko Road. But we still have others, you know, scattered all around, that you can just walk into our companies, our branches, and register. The first thing is that what do? We cover for work-related activities, even unto death. Nobody prays, but there are eventualities that happen. Disability cases comes up. You know, probably maybe the person had an accident while even working in the factory. You know, we're talking about machines, sealing, and all of those, and all of somehow jump had the hand. You know, there was somebody that gave us, I don't want to, he said he had a driver working with them in the production company there. All of a sudden he slipped and he hit his head. From there he died. Do you know, if such person had been registered under us, we take it up. If the person has maybe is married and 4 children, NSITF takes up, you know, benefits for such a deceased employee. Some will say, after all, this my casual worker, they just come and go. God forbid, if anything happens and the person, you didn't register the person, or you didn't do what you're supposed to do for such an employee, if we even get, or you know, the employee can decide to just go and sue, and before you know what is happening, nobody comes back from the court, and they start to laugh. So I'm bringing it down to each and every one of us to understand what we do. And what we are expected to do as an employer is that you register your company with us. Once you register with us, you have a registration number that you will use anytime to ensure that you write the names of those people working under you, and every month you remit it to us. But the only condition here is that for every employee you have, probably you're paying such an employee 50,000 naira monthly. And what do we expect you to do? You, the employer, you are not deducting from the employee. You pay just 1% of that 50,000 naira to the fund, that is 500 naira. Imagine your employee now going somewhere, probably the hand chopped off, or probably something happened, or even to death. You may be wondering that even with all my proceeds, can't even pay for the hospital bill. Now you are being asked to just pay maybe 500 naira on behalf of the employee, you know, every time. And if something happens, we take it off from there. It could be maybe, we go to the hospital, no, it has to be like 1 million naira and things like that. We do that. You say, with this small meager amount I'm paying, we are a pool of fun, you know, members together. We are brothers and sisters. What am I saying? All employers. We have employers that pay to even millions, and they don't even come. And now we are just paying, maybe at the end of the month, you look at it, how many am I paying? I'm just paying 5,000 naira for all of us. Mind you, some will say I'm paying for my employees. Death, accident does not know Oga or the person working. We are expected that even we as employers, we should be there. There was a time, there was a story of a driver and the director. The director's name was not with us. Accident happened, the man died. of the driver himself, you know, he's been paying for the driver, but he wasn't there. At the end of the day, nothing could be done to the director, but the driver was compensated. So we have both cash benefits and non-cash benefits. What do I mean? In case there's a disability, there's a way we calculate it for every body part that is lost, maybe while working, or maybe something happened, you understand? There's a way. The first thing is that such a person must have been registered, must be under our payment schedule for us to understand that this person is with us. So that first, you must ensure that you have paid for the person. We do disability payment and we do benefit compensation for the family. That's the next of kin. You may say, no, this person is not married. Of course, you will have somebody. Probably maybe you put in your brother, your sister, or maybe the person that, no, he doesn't have this one. You must just have somebody, you know, that is the next of kin. But for those that are married, legally, we expect, we pray, we always ensure that put those people that you know that should benefit your spouses and children. We cover up to 4 children. That's to age of 21 or maybe leaving the university. For those who do not even say, we don't have it, we can always pay lump sum. There are different kinds of benefits. Some we pay lump sum, some we pay to the age of 55. Then for non-cash benefits, what do we mean? There are times that, you know, it has gotten so bad that they'll say, they have to chop up the leg, they have to amputate the hand. We have prosthesis we give to them, counseling, rehabilitation. You know, we do that. We go to empathize, we go to see such people because things happen, and the next thing the employee is telling the oga, I don't want to see him, the family, I don't want to see. Then we take it up from there, you know, to do rehabilitation, you know, to counsel such a person. But nobody prays that such things should happen. Even though we say, okay, there's an opportunity that, okay, I can pay for them when it happens, but the body part cannot be replaced. No matter the millions you give to somebody, and now the person is amputated because the person comes to work for you. So what do? We always pray that you have a safe environment where your employees work. But even if at that, no matter how careful you are being, and things do happen, you understand? That is why we always ensure that we ask that, ensure that you are registered under this scheme. Ensure that you register. And once you register once, you have registered. That is just the thing, except if you are registering different company. But once you have a company, you are good with your company, just register. You just make payments on behalf of your employees, on behalf of yourself, so that in case any eventuality happens, you say that. So we ask that if nothing happens at the end of the day, remember some people have been paying, they have been contributing, they have been complying, and nothing has happened, and it's what they have from them that we have even been used, you know, we have used for those who didn't even have one to pay. You can't compare somebody that pays into 2 or 50 million and to someone who is just paying 2,000 naira per month. Nobody is expecting that we should we balance up ourselves together because we see ourselves as brothers and sisters helping ourselves, you know, when eventuality happens. So it's more of duty of care, and we call our scheme no fault scheme. It's not the commercial insurance that you were supposed to do this, you were not supposed to have done that. Our own is that as much as there's an accident, as much as there's disability, as much as there is death, you understand, just let us know through notification. You must notify us, you the employer, within 7 days. You must let us know. But the employee, you should let your employee know that within 14 days maximum, they must let you know that this has happened. Then within 21 days, all this information must get to NSITF. So we have our compliance unit that you must relate it to let them know. We have our claims and compensation unit who takes care of all these issues of disability when they happen, and we have our health and safety that comes around to just check. Have you put your first aid box in place? Your PPE there, your personal protective equipment, are they all in place? Just to safeguard anybody that whatever happens to anyone while working. So, and we have it even to the secondary part of it. What do I mean? You know, like if somebody is living in flat A now and has to go to flat F to go and work. Once this person is coming from flat A to flat F and is going back the same way, that's the primary. But now say, no, branch to this other place, and the person, once it's official, it is covered. Even if it's outside Lagos, it's covered. The reason why they give 14 days manual is because some things happen, the employee may not be able to even reach the employer at the point in time. Some employees might even go into coma, and the employer is wondering, You know, before they will get details from the parents or the family and things before. So we give maximum, and we have that other one that we call the MER, that's the medical expense refund. In that, if you, the employer, had already gone ahead to take care of the employee, why something happened that he couldn't wait, maybe he couldn't reach us at that point in time, then when you bring the notification, there is one part of the fund that will come anywhere. If you have paid on behalf of the employee, then it will be able to, you know, refund that for anything that you have done, you know, to the employee at that point in time. Because of our time, please, we will be asking you for questions. We'll give our numbers for more information. Thank you. It's a pool of funds. You understand? It's a pool of funds. It's not say, okay, nothing happened within the space of this time, so we have to. You understand? You have helped somebody somewhere. Do you get? You have helped somebody, and once this person may even go and register, may even go to another company B and be registered. You know, we deal with chemicals too, occupational diseases. Probably maybe the body chemistry at a point, I don't know, the chlorine, whatever, it was too much, and they now trace that probably maybe where he was or she was before. By the time they get to the hospital, I say, no, we trace the history. You know, sometimes in the hospitals, they ask for medical history, and they trace it back to where the person was before. You understand? No, it was while 10 years ago, while he worked with so person, this thing happened. Okay, bring out the person register under NSITF. Can we take it up? So these are the things we look out for. Thank you.
Am I to register all the 50 under the company, or I will register the company?
You are registering the company, but you are paying 1% on behalf of yourself and the employee. So it means you are paying for 51 persons now. That's yourself and the employee. Your registration as a director is once.
My question is this.
NSITF basically deals with an employer as an organization. So it is the employer that compiles the names of all the employees which make up the payment schedule which they prepare on a monthly basis for remittance. So if an employer leaves that organization, the new payment schedule will not reflect that employee's name. And therefore that employee cannot on his or her own begin to remit back to the fund, because it is purely an employer arrangement with the fund.
Thank you very much. I think NSITF is very important.
You know, it is as if at a point you begin to rush and you do not really have the time to, you know, download most of the things we actually need to let us know. First and foremost, we must know that this is not yet another insurance scheme. You know, in commercial insurance, what they do is, you know, no premium, no claims, you know, or no cover. So we don't do that. We see it as a no-fault scheme, whereby if there is any contingency, we will not begin to ask, were you at the right place where you were supposed to be, or were you putting on your PPE and all that. So we see it as a no-fault claim, because it is the NLC and the TUC that mounted pressure on the federal government, that they have seen cases where workers sustain injury, and at the end of the day, the employer will dump such an employee, and the employee will not have to go and look for means of taking care of himself or herself, and therefore it is now creating so much poverty in the system. So it is a kind of social solidarity scheme whereby people come together, pool resources together, because we always want to ask, what if after paying for some time and then there was no injury and nothing happened and all that, what happens to the money that have been contributed? So first and foremost, we thank God that there was no death, there was no injury, and there was nothing like that. But since it's a kind of social solidarity where people come together, pool resources together, so that when there is a contingency and such a victim is not in a position to help himself, then from the pool fund, they will not bring out money and then to assist. So it does not matter how much you have contributed so far. Even if you have contributed for a particular employee for just 1 month, and then of course there's an injury or there is death, we will not begin to look at how much that have been contributed. We'll look at the degree of the injury, and what it is required is what will be paid.
All right, thank you very much. Please put your hands together for him. We have to move on. Thank you. Thank you. know your cost of production per sachet or per bag. Let us, Oga, let us show by way of hand. If you know your cost of production per bag or per sachet, scan the room. Show by way of hand. Show by way of hand. Please lift up your hands if you know or you've ever calculated your cost of production. At least I want to see one hand. It cannot be this bad. Okay, madam, thank you very much. So we have one hand. Okay, so less than 1% of the house. That is why the presentation I want to do is very important. I will squeeze it to 10 minutes. It's important because if we understand our two costs, then we don't have to start pushing people about pricing. You will know that you are underselling yourself out of business. Like I said earlier, the lady who is selling plantain body knows how much she bought it at my 12K to wherever she goes to buy it. She knows how much her coal costs. She knows how much the space that she's sitting down to. You know, it's not free, they pay. All that is factored in before she gets to her price of body. She can never sell below her cost price. But what are we doing in pure water? We are selling below our cost price, and I will take 5 minutes to prove that point. And I'm willing to share this template again, because if you go and put in your numbers, some may win, some will receive cents, but you cannot have a basin that has water, a hole inside, or you are trying to pour water in a basket. That is why most people's businesses, with all due respect, you've not taken off. You have been producing for 10 years, your business has not really taken off. You can't buy new trucks. Your factory roof is leaking, you can't fix it. You are owing NAPO and every other person. It is because we have not understood our costs and priced properly. Thank you very much, NSITF. So this analysis here, please pay rapt attention, is for a factory that is selling 500 bags a day. Some of you sell more. I'm hoping that nobody sells less, but if you do sell less, it's okay. You can adjust the numbers. And what are the major parameters? Diesel. Diesel is about one. I don't know whether it has gone down, but when it was up, but when it was down, that was the price. This factory uses 30 liters to produce 2,000 bags. Do you even know how many liters we use to produce 1,000 bags? Or we just pour petrol, we just produce it anyhow? Production is a science. If you don't measure, you cannot control it. So have we ever checked how many liters our generator uses to produce 1,000 bags, 100 bags? Because that is where you can now properly allocate your costs. We know that 1 kg roll produces averagely 40 bags, depending on the roll you are using. Some people use 30 micron that produces less. Some people even use the super what? They call it super something that produces more than 40 bags. But averagely we sell 40 bags. We know that the bottle of packing bag, 1,000, quantity of sachet per bag. And then coming down to salaries, we have assumed this factory pays 60,000 to the manager, the production manager, or whoever. So factories pay more, by the way. Security 40, cleaner 30, others 20, and subtotal 150,000. Of course, the recommended selling price is 400 naira. So let's go up. All right. So this is the result. Below, what I showed you was just the assumption, so you understand where we are coming from. Packing bag is 12,000. I don't know how much you buy yours around here. How much you buy yours? About 12,000. Nylon roll. Last time this factory bought was 3,165 per kg. Some people are buying for 3,200 now. Some people are buying for slightly less. Diesel, that's the price. This factory pays commission to their drivers. Some of you pay driver salaries, so we can work it out. You can call me, I can help you work it out. This commission, again, let me set something straight. Because some drivers or salespeople or managers are here, and you will go back and say that Swagger said that they are paying commission of 80 naira Meanwhile, you are paying 60 or 40 naira here. This 80 naira includes the motorboy and the fuel and repairs, things like servicing of carburetor and repair of tires. So it's not that you are just dashing the driver money. Some factories pay salaries and they provide the fuel. Some factories pay commission, maybe 20 naira or so, and they provide the fuel. But for this operation, they said to the driver, we'll give you 80 naira per bag, provide your fuel. Do you know that if you buy fuel for your drivers, they use more fuel? Yes. Do you agree? Yes. So I'm preaching to the choir now. So before we did this, right, driver can use 60 liters to sell 200 bags. But now they are using an average of 6 liters. Sorry, 2.5 liters to sell 100 bags. Because the money is coming from their pockets. How do we know? Because we have diesel, we have petrol. So in my factory, they are complaining that the meter is not complete. So I said, okay, I will buy the fuel. We will get the correct measurement of 1 liter, and I will sell it to you. So I'm making a slight loss, but they are happy with that. All right. So we now said salaries. You saw that 150 below. I brought it up here. Then in this area, in Ekpe, we pay our packers 3 naira 50 kobo per bag. We pay the operator 3 naira. Some operators are on salary, some packers are on salary. We can work that out. And then this factory has kept aside every month 50,000 naira for repair and maintenance. Every month. Now, we know that we spend more than that. Yeah? So this is a very conservative estimate. And then this factory belongs to the producer, but he's paying rent every month. You heard the accountant here when he said, pay rent. My factory is about a little over 15 years old. I now have to change the roof. And they've given me an estimate that is giving me palpitation, because we now all know how much roofing sheets cost now. You know? So they pay rent, and they have kept annual tax levies and taxes. Right? Annual, this is a year. All the levies and taxes you pay, they put 100,000. Why I'm giving this is because we are going to break it down to cost per sachets. We've even put what? NAFDAC renewal, averaging about 500,000 naira, right? That will be divided over 2 years, because every 2 years you need to renew. And then director salaries. How many of you pay yourselves rents? Some of us don't even, salaries. Some of us don't even collect any money. We pay motorboy, we pay packing bag, we pay for everything. We don't see shishi. I pay myself a salary. I pay myself first, because I have to look good, and I'm 60 years old, right? I have to keep looking good and taking care of myself. So why should everybody eat and I will not eat? Right? So pay yourself. So, and then depreciation of vehicles. That depreciation is very important. Depreciation of vehicles. What does this mean? I'm saying that this factory has probably, let's say, 2 keke, right? Or 1 korope, which they bought at 4 million naira. That korope will be depreciated over the next 4 years, right? So when you do all of this and it's 4 million, why do you do depreciation? After 4 years, what should you be able to do? If you are counting properly, you should have 4 million naira somewhere, right? To do what? To buy a new, or maybe by that time it has moved to 6. You will be able to use 4 million to renovate your old vehicle. But what we are doing now, come down a bit. Come down. So also the machines. Yeah. Also the machines. 3 million naira for all your tanks, whatever, your sachet machines, all the machines. That 3 million is divided over 4 years also, right? And then what you now see, come, scroll up. Okay, stop here. So we put some formulas there. If you put this, it will spit this out. This is now the cost of the sachets, right? For every sachet, you are spending 60 kobo, or is it 60? Yes, 60 kobo on packing bag. Nylon roll is 3.9 naira, and it goes down. This is 80 kobo. Sales commission is 4 naira. Come down. Scroll down. Remove the cost of the escape. No. What happened there? Okay, he's taking away that terminal. Hold on, sorry. Where is your back? Okay, yeah. The 18 kobo goes to the packer. Repair and maintenance. Look at this. 20 kobo per every sachet. That 20 kobo is taken out. Rent is 40 kobo. Annual tax and levy is 40 kobo. Now that renewal is 8 kobo. 8 kobo. And so we bring it down. Now, on the right is the cost per bag. Scroll up a bit, just use your fingers. It's yeah. No, up, down, okay. Yeah. So that is the cost per bag. Coming down. Let's not waste time. Come down. Okay, stop it here. Now, this is the most important figure here. If you are doing your depreciation properly, you are paying yourself a salary, you are doing everything you should do, like a proper company that wants to survive and grow. The cost of your production today is 3 naira 70 kobo. It can vary from zone to zone, it can be 350. You understand? But it's 3 naira 70 kobo. How much are you selling water in this zone?
300 naira, 250.
Please, let's discuss.
Some companies are giving 150, 170.
Yes. Any other comment? What's the average selling price? 300 naira. So if you sell at 300 naira, let me tell you, scroll down a bit. Okay, leave it there. No, come down a bit. Down. Okay, leave it there. No, let's not get worked up. This is sciences, mathematics, right? So you are selling at 300 naira. It means that you are losing 70 naira.
We are not selling 300 naira. We, the producers, some producers are giving their riders 170, 200, 250. So you find that our cost is not up to that.
You mean it's more than this?
Yes.
Your cost, because you are not capturing everything. That's why you are selling less than your cost price. You might as well give it out for free. So let me tell you what is happening. Listen to me. There are two magic numbers here. These two numbers. If you take out those two numbers, replacement of vehicle and maintenance of machines, right? Your cost comes down to 230 naira. And that's what we are doing. That is the mathematics we are doing. We are calculating our cost at around 230 naira. So that is why somebody can go and say they are selling for 300 naira. But how many of us tomorrow morning can go and buy a new Korokwe? Tokubo Korokwe. It's how much now? 6 million. I'm asking the house, how many of us can go and buy? Without making provision, how many of us can go and buy without borrowing? We are so unstructured that conventional banks will not even give us money. We have to go to NAPO or all these people that are charging us, let me not mention any names, all these people that are charging us all kinds of outrageous rates. So we need to receive sense. Are you with me? Are you with me? House, are you with me? We need to receive sense and begin to price our water properly. If you want to deceive yourself and say that your cost of production is around that 230 and so you can sell at 300 or 250, that business is not a bad prayer, it's just a matter of time. It will die, or your debt profile will overtake you, which means you are borrowing money and you are just selling every day to just pay the interest rates. You are not even paying the principal. And that is the vicious cycle that most factories are inside today, and they can't get out. Some people who used to buy roll, when they want to buy roll those days, they buy half a ton, 1 ton. You know how many kg they are buying now? 100 kg, 50 kg, 2 rolls. 2 rolls. I am touching some people here. The rent, it depends on the size of the factory where it's located. Yes. Yes. That's petrol. Okay, diesel is for production, yes. It depends on the size of the gen. Yes, there are other parameters. That's why I say you should plug in your figures when you receive it. Right? You should plug in your figures when you see it. Madam, have you been to Lekki to see factories in Lekki? Yes. So before you start making comments, visit, know where we are coming from. Adjust it to your factory size. Some factories have POP, right? Some factories have POP, marble everywhere, AC. POP ceiling. Some factories don't use keke or korope, they use big trucks. Some factories don't buy Tokumbo Dyna, they don't buy Nigerian use, they buy Tokumbo. So you take this and you fit in your own, and you will see that it's not realistic to sell water less than 400 naira. I don't know where any person who wants to grow in this. Do you see the nylon rope producers selling less than? They are all selling around that 3,000, 160. Maybe you will get 3,165, 3,170, 3,000. You will not see 3,000. You will not see 3,000. Have you asked yourself why? Same thing with packing bag. You just name all the inputs we use. My bulb burnt yesterday, the long UV bulb. I went to buy it, 25,000 naira. 25,000. The adapter itself, they were calling one ridiculous amount. Thank God my adapter didn't burn. Go to Arena and see the prices. You go from shop to shop, prices are the same. It's only pure water. Only pure water. And that is why some of us cannot go on holidays. I go on holidays because I do my accounting properly. And I've said to my workers, the day my business cannot pay for the lifestyle that I set it for, I will shut it down. And I've shut down for 3-4 months before because the parameters were just not looking right. Maybe they were stealing, I don't know. So you have to be courageous. We are here for the business to take care of us and to feed us, and not for us to suffer. It's as if it's a curse when you enter pure water. We need to begin to give ourselves sense and to talk to each other. So I'm speaking to those of you who are understanding here. Go and do this mathematics. And if I'm wrong, continue. But if I'm right, save your business and save the industry. Because what underselling does is that if I begin to undersell, she sees me and she says that Swagger is selling 380. She will join me. Oga says both of them are now selling 380. I will come down to 380. She meets me. He will sell 350. Right? And then the other person says, on a T-shirt I get sense. I will come down to 300. Let us see. So before you know what's happening, you are subsidizing the market. That is what this is all about. I will share it at the state portal. Please put your own numbers. If your numbers don't look good or look funny, come to me. I will help you adjust it. You must know, please, if you don't take anything away here today, you must be able to calculate your cost of production per bag.